Did you also know, though, that before Jeffrey Epstein died, after Steve Bannon got fired by Trump, he interviewed Jeffrey Epstein on camera in his house, I think for 18 hours.
Steve Bannon did?
Yeah,
no,
this
I had
shit
no
doesn't
fucking
stop
clue.
anywhere.
Where do you find this shit?
I don't know.
Do you do anything but research?
I don't know, man. I went down this rabbit hole, though, like 2 months ago. Steve Bannon, Austin, I don't know if you can find this clip. It's on YouTube. If you type in Steve Bannon Epstein, he released for some documentary. Steve Bannon's crazy, but he's got some documentary coming out.
They used to think he was QAnon.
Oh God. But he has some documentary coming out. Go down, type in, go back up and just add times up with times with an apostrophe. Is it even on here anymore? Hold on. All right, type in Steve Bannon Epstein interview. Yeah, that first one. Yeah. It's got to still be on here. Go down. Go down. Go
The
down.
crazy thing about...
It's like a minute. Okay, there it is. There it is. See the teaser with Epstein?
Oh, wow, right there.
Dude, try not to laugh when you hear
Oh,
this.
my God.
Click this.
It's only 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Month marks 2 years
This is a trailer for his documentary.
sex offender Jeffrey Epstein inside a New York City jail.
We were underage. We were little girls. By the time I was 16, I brought him up to 75 girls.
He lived essentially like he was Gatsby. He was an absolutely terrifying person to encounter.
There's the J.E.
You own an island. Two islands. The islands of Dr. Moreau.
Correct.
Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire New York businessman whose vast wealth brought an arrogance that knew no limits. He acted as if he could have anything he could.
That woman's reporting on this is the best by far, the 60 Minutes Australia lady.
Britain's Prince Andrew over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Watch this.
I live from old thinking, but the future is for the way women think.
The way women think. Is that not a sop because of all the depravity you've done against young women? Your new sop is that their women's thinking is the future?
No, I've always believed that women would be, in fact, be able to take over. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up.
What?
You got that on camera. That was it. That's the whole thing of Epstein talking.
What does that mean, time's up? I'm a firm
You know the
believer?
Time's Up, like Me Too movement? Like Time's Up?
Oh, I didn't know time's up was part of that.
Yeah, it was like some trending hashtag
Oh,
with
so
it,
for
I
the
think.
guy, time's up.
Yeah, it was like Time's Up for male supremacy or whatever the fuck it was. And he's like, I'm a huge he's got like the New York accent and everything.
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like a normal guy sitting in his
He
house.
was
He's like, I'm a
really-
huge believer in Time's Up.
Wasn't he like really into, I forget the word now, but like he wanted to like spread basically his DNA throughout.
I heard that.
What is, I forget what there's a word for that when you like.
Is it eugenics?
Eugenics. Yeah, eugenics.
He wanted to like, I think that's why he said, and this is a report, but like he bought the Zorro Ranch so that he could spawn little Epstein.
Right.
Fucking
The
dude's
dude
crazy, man.
He was like a racist bastard too. Like he looked down on anyone who wasn't white completely. Like he made shit up about like the physicality of people who were other races. I don't remember specific examples, but he was just he was like this awful, like if you could create an awful human being, like Adolf Hitler, Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of, that's where we're at for some of the same, and I guess also maybe some different reasons.
My thought on that is there's a lot of people like those guys,
Yeah.
but the difference is when you give them that amount of money, when they have that amount of money and and unlimited resources, then they act on that on who they are. You know what I mean?
Or does it change them?
I don't think it changes them. I think it makes them more of who they already are.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely...
It's a magnifying glass.
I think there's definitely people like that. I think there are also people who they get access to something. Some impetus is put in front of them after having money and connections, right? Mm-hmm. And then they decide that they didn't dislike whatever it was that just happened. And it's the smallest thing. Or it's a bigger thing. And they do it again. They do it again. and then they do it more,
Right.
and they like it,
Right.
right, and they keep going. I think that's definitely a thing. But you're right.
Right.
There's people who are probably molded to be the worst of the worst, and they decide not to be a serial killer, so we just never see it.
Right.
I think you're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like, I don't know. I had always thought about it, but I was never one of these, like I wasn't sitting there listening to the podcast or anything, like going back and forth. I'm like, this is just fucked up. And then that trial, just something about it just, of course, offended me. And I was just like looking all through it. And I'm like, this is...
The Ghislaine trial?
Yeah.
Ghislaine trial?
Yeah. And I'm just putting the timeline. 'Cause I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder if I like passed this guy on the street
Right.
in New York.
Yeah.
Statistically, I used to walk up to 83rd and 2nd all the fucking time from Midtown. I like to walk in the city. I'm like, statistically, I might have. And how freaky is that? You might have just like walk by
You
this.
never know.
This dude, yeah, with all these
I
secrets.
never knew houses like that even existed. I never knew there was like these there was like they're like townhouses, but they're fucking mansions when you get inside of them, and they're right on the main roads in New York.
Look,
I told you how little time I've spent in New York.
They don't let people like me in places like that, but I'll take you up to New York sometime. I can point at them.
Well, Scorsese has a place like that too.
Probably.
Looks just like it from the outside.
Yeah, and like again, like just because you live in a place like that doesn't mean you're
Have you
evil,
seen
but-
Succession on HBO?
No.
Oh my
I
God,
haven't.
dude.
I've heard good things though.
It looks the fucking main guy, the billionaire's
beard
house.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
the guy with
yeah.
the beard. He lives in a place that looks just like Epstein's house.
I mean, they exist.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know where
That was
you
a
can
good
have a
fucking show.
great person and a bad person, right? And you can have that house and all these other things that come with whatever set of life circumstances this is. And you can go like this in a test tube scenario and put the good person in there and, that they're going to be them.
No.
You do the same thing with the bad person, they're going to be them.
Mm.
The thing they have in common is they've accessed all this stuff. So
Right.
how do they use it?
Right.
Does the good person do a lot of philanthropy?
Mm.
Maybe not even that. Just as like nice guy, tips
Mm.
people well, lives a good life, lives 80 years, dies of cancer,
Right.
calls it a day, right?
Mhm.
Kids fight over the estate. Bad person leaves behind an island where a bunch of people got raped. I mean, that's the...
Yeah.
Think
Have
about that
you-
divide.
Have you seen the fucking video of the kid on the jet ski who's he's riding his jet ski through the Bahamas and he rides past Epstein's island?
No.
And he pulls up and like ties his fucking ski up right in front of that like crazy looking blue and gold building, and he fucking climbs up the rock and he runs up and he's like filming himself like running across that fucking